Welcome back to Good Colour Photo, and today I'm going to be showing you how to load film into one of these, an SLR camera. So here we have our SLR camera. Today I'm going to be showing you how to load film, and I'm going to be using the Canon AE1 to load my film into my camera. So what I'm going to do first of all is flip this round. I'm going to show you the back of the camera, because this is what we need to look at first before we do anything in regards to taking a photograph. We're going to have our roll of film here, and if I'm just going to show you what we're going to be using, it's going to be the Ilford HP5 plus 400. So I'm going to be showing you quickly first of all the film that we're going to be putting inside the camera. So here we see it says 36 there. That is basically just telling us that it's got 36 shots inside this roll of film. Ilford HP5 Plus is what this film is called. The 400 here is an indication of the ISO, which is also referred to as ASA on SLR cameras. So if you do see ASA anywhere, you will just be referring to the ISO number, or the film speed as it's also referred to. And here it tells you that this is a black and white film, so there is no colour in this film, only black and white shots will be produced from that negative inside. Okay, so now we know what film we're going to be putting into the camera. Next thing we need to do is open the camera to place the film inside. So to open up the back of your camera, it's very simple and it's almost universal across all cameras that were built this way. So here you see you have a little dial, and on that dial you can just pull up and you can lift up this little notch here. This notch then you just pull and you can see that it lifts up, but nothing has happened just yet. What you then need to do is to just lift a bit more, and as you see, the back of the camera just opens up and flips out. Here now you can see that you have a gap on this side, and you've got like a spill on this side. And what I'm going to quickly show you is this turns around here and these turn around this way. So you load your film from this side across, and quickly pop this in. So you have your film now. I've got my film in my hand, and then what I'm going to then do is I'm going to place my film inside this way. And the reason it goes this way is because you have a small nipple just on the top of the film canister when you push it this way up. So when you stand it up, you've got a nipple on the top and it's flat on the bottom. And this will secure into a small gap that's just here, that is cut out inside for you to slide it into. And also if you just push this down a little bit, you'll see that there are two little notches there, and those then line up into the bottom of your film canister, and then they will then grip onto that little bar inside there, so that everything stays tight and firm when it's inside the camera. So if you just lift that back up to get it out of the way, I'm going to now place my film in, and I'm going to push this down until it grabs, and now you can see that it moves, so I know that it's in securely. Okay, the next thing that we need to do when we are putting our film into the back of our camera, this is one of the most important parts, because you don't want to waste the film. You only have a certain number of shots that you can take on each roll of film, so getting the most out of each of those shots is important to a photographer. So you pull the feeder tab across, and you're just going to feed it across until you cover up to here. So you want that tab just to come across no more than a touch over the actual edge, because you can see now, I'm going to let that roll, there are notches here that will then fit inside the square notches cut out in your film, and these are here to help roll the film once you've got it in place. So here is enough to get the film started, and then you have your feeder here which helps you place into these small notches here for the film to be then wound inside. So I'm just going to feed that in. It's a little bit difficult doing this upside down. Right, that is now secure inside. As you can see, when I turn that round, there's a bit of slack there. Now, in order to get rid of that slack, is now you're going to use this lever on top. Now you see I've just pulled that across. That lever on top then is going to come across here, and you can see it slowly just pull that across. So that film has now been pulled across, and you want to check before you do anything else that it's caught on the notches here, and it has, and that is nice and tight and very taut across. So I'm going to pop that down. I'm going to close that there. And next is the most important part of loading the film, in my opinion, is now I'm going to flip this around. It's just so I can see more clearly. And now that you've cocked it across, you can see that it won't go any further. You can't wind any further. You now need to release the shutter, and then you need to cock it across again. As it's gone across, it has actually changed from the S to halfway in between the S and the 0 in that small window pane there. So what that essentially is going to do is tell you when you have your first available image. So now I'm going to press that. Now I've taken that image at 0. The next time I cock that across, that's going to tell me I've taken one image after the shutter has been released. So then I'm going to cock it across, and now one image has been taken and it's ready to move on to the second image.